Hey, Seraphan here, and today I want to share you how to fusion on Raid Shadow Legends. Meet the portal. The portal is where you actually summon champions, but also the place where you fusion new and better ones. Fusions is like cooking, where the main dish is actually the champion you're looking for or the one available. And the ingredients are actually lower tier champions of that you are actually aiming for. For permanent fusion like Racine Scarhide, which by the way is an excellent and a must-have legendary, the requirements are 4 legendaries of Force affinity, and for each one is going to be 4 rares of different affinity, and 4 of those rares can actually be obtained during campaign battles of different stages. And the other 12 need to be summoned by shards. So, like I said on my Raid Shadow Legends free-to-play review, knowing when to open your shard is key, and for fusion even more. So I'm going to be using my account to share you the key elements that I believe are going to lead you to a proper and efficient fusion. And for this we're going to focus on the free-to-play perspective and importance of each champion you acquire, the most ideal scenarios to open your shards, and reviewing your account status to understand in what tier of the fusion you should stay. Each champion you acquire is going to be important sooner or later, and when you are a free-to-play player, they are way more important. So your champion vault should actually be the place where you keep at least one copy of each rare, and a second copy of those rares you're actually using. You see, when you are a free-to-play player, you don't have enough resource to actually be summoning more champions every time, and RNG can actually punish you hard if you do not understand this sooner. In the case of Racine Scarhide or Relic Keeper, it's going to be easy for you to understand what champions to keep. But as free-to-play player, all you're going to need is a little bit more time. But in the case of temporary fusions, time is not at your side. And the tournaments or events that offer the champions you need for that fusion as rewards may require an amount of resource that you may not have at the moment. The game will often inform you about that fusion in the news panel on the left. Here you will find the schedule with the tournaments and event with each champion that you will need on each tier of that fusion. That info should let you know if you have the needed resource to actually obtain those ingredient champions just by farming and competing. Each event or tournament are going to offer you the champions you need for this fusion. It's going to depend on how deep you work on it. So by the time the events and tournaments are actually over, you are going to have an extra week on that fusion event to complete your fusion. And here you will realize how many other champions are still missing in your fusion recipe. So the first thing to do is take a look at the champion you need and check if the campaign can actually offer you one of those champions. And if not, then your hopes are now on the shards you can actually acquire during this week. As free-to-play player, you have some good choices you can actually rely on to acquire new shards. One is to aim for the highest difficulty clan boss reward you can actually fight for. Another one is to use your available energy on dungeons where mystery shards and ancient shards are actually dropped in packs. You can actually check the market each hour where you will mostly find mystery shards and sometimes ancient shards. By now you should actually have a general picture of why I am actually pushing you to open your shards near the end of the fusion event. But sometimes the game will offer you another reason to do so, where players actually get points by the champions they get and not by the shard they're opening. And the other one is going to be summoning events where the game is doubling the chances for you to acquire the highest rarity champions in that chart. Now these kind of scenarios where the fusion event actually align with this kind of older choices It's not common, but when it is, you should actually take advantage of. So here we are, few hours away for our fusion event to be over. In either case, what we should be actually thinking right now is which tier of this fusion event actually benefit us. You see, by now you should be actually playing the game with a main roster. This roster probably have champions of all kind of rarity. And while the main fusion may actually offer you a really good legendary, it may probably be only useful on one scenario of the game, while the lower tier may offer you a lot of tools to move forward in different stages of dungeons, clan boss, or just campaign. So here we are, what shall we do? First, check which of those champions offer you the better tools to move ahead in your current playthrough. The next thing to do will be to check if you have enough books to master each of their skills. And finally, how well does this champion integrate with your current main roster? And the reason is because when you know if this is a good addition or a central piece you need to work around it, this will give you the times of when this champion is going to be actually useful to you. You see, there is no point on getting a champion who is actually really good by itself, but you have no use because you cannot take the other pieces around him to make him shine. Because remember, we do not need more guards for your champion's bolt. So make your research, and once you're ready, let's go to the portal. Once you're here on the portal, we're gonna move to the Fusion tab. And here you will find all the options you have to make a fusion. In this case, the fusion we're actually aiming for. To acquire a champion of one tier, you need to fill the recipe of the lower tier of that champion. This does not mean that in order to get your main fusion, you need to start from the bottom tier of that event. The champions you're going to use to fill that recipe need to meet a requirement of level and ascension. And if everything is ready, then click the fusion button and enjoy your new champion. So there you have it, folks. As a free-to-play player, you are going to be able to participate in every fusion event that the game offers you during your playthrough. All you need to do is to think wisely how to approach it. And this is all for now. I really hope those tips actually help you in the same way they have been helping me to improve each of my fusions. So let me know what you think on the comment section below. Please hit the bell button and subscribe for more. And till the next one.